Hey everyone, Eggman here with another video, and today we're going over Enel in the 7th set of the One Piece card game. Yellow got some pretty good cards, and I think universally Enel is the best leader to take advantage of. So we're going to go over the deck list real quick, and then we have some example games after that as well. And a couple of things before we get started. First, if you guys enjoy the content, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe. It helps the channel a lot, and we're going to be making a lot more OP07 content in general. And also, the example games we're going over are from our live stream that we did on Twitch and YouTube. And if you guys want to see more Enel games, you can check out the entire VOD, which is on Twitch and on YouTube for subscribers and members, respectively. So if you guys are a subscriber or member, I really do appreciate that support as well. And let's just jump on into it. So here is the list verbatim that I used for my live stream. At the end of it, too, I did make some quick changes as well. So that's kind of the second deck list you see. I haven't tested the second one since, so mileage may vary, but in general, I think this is a very good build for Enel. If not the best build, the good beginner build to kind of go over what's different with him in this format and what you need to do as him as well. So obviously the key card we want to talk about is the 10 cost Portuguese the Ace. So effect on play, add up to one card from the top of your deck to your life. Then if you have 2 or less life cards, this character gains rush during this turn. So a 10 cost 10k rush card that heals is pretty good, especially if you are Enel, since either one, it's very easy to be down to 1 life. It just means that you're able to just get that heal and the rush off the Ace, which is really nice. And if you're at 0 life, being able to go from 0 to 1 is fantastic because you technically go from 0 to 2. And the other thing that I think Enel is kind of running into issues with their top ends, because of course we did have cards like Katakuri and we had cards like Yamato, where both these cards were both like healers and removers. Like Katakuri could heal or it could remove like an 8 cost or less from your opponent's board. Yamato could either will heal, but there's a chance that it can get rid of something too. So it's kind of like in between. And the only issues with both these cards are they're a little bit conditional, right? Like the heal from Katakuri is conditional of you having like a 2 cost or just something to put back into your life. Yamato is kind of like if you're at 1, you get to heal up to 2. Otherwise, you don't get that heal. So they're kind of a little bit less flexible. Meanwhile, we've got Ace, which he's just fantastic. You get the heal every time, which is helps you a lot. The fact that it's 10 Dawn is a little bit expensive, but alternatively, being able to get the rush means that you have a good chance of being able to heal a card and be able to pressure or get rid of one of your opponent's character cards at the same time. So I think that's generally worth it. It's obviously a 10 cost 10k too, so it's a little bit hard for your opponent to remove it on the other side if you get this established. So just very good in general. I think the deck has some really good plays. I will also say that Enel is kind of like a tricky deck that there's not if you don't know how to play against it, your opponent's giving you a lot of value. The short answer for this one is that if you want to beat Enel, you have to 1, keep a wide board, and then 2, you have to kind of keep them at 2 life. And the reason you have to do that is because Yamato can get some removal, but it can't get the heal. So which means you deny them a free card draw essentially with this Yamato. And Ace is kind of in the same spot. If you leave them at 2 life, they can play Ace, but they have to make the decision of, do I want a 10 cost 10k rush, or do I want a 10 cost 10k heal? Because they can heal up to 3, but you won't get rush, or you can rush, but then you don't get the heal from it either. So leaving them at 2 is generally my idea of how to counteract this deck a little bit if you're having some troubles with it. There's more nuance from that, but that's kind of like a good rule of thumb of how to start as well, because you don't get, they don't get a Maru or other cards from that either. So other than that, we do have the new kind of egghead support from this set too. Generically, the good cards for this deck are both Frankie and the Luffy. Most of the cards are pretty specific to having an egghead leader, which is a shame because a lot of these effects proc when you have 1 or less life, which again, Enel is very good at being at 1 life for a very long time. So for example, this Frankie, you're able to play a body for free and be able to draw a card. So it's not Satori, but it's just better in a lot of scenarios where instead of Satori, you can play it, but you have to discard a card. So you kind of go like -2 to be able to play it. Frankie, you get to play it and draw a card. So you go neutral and you get a body out for free. So it's just great. You have to be at 1 or less life. So, but it triggers when you when you're 2 or less. So if it's your second life, right, you'll have 1 or less, so you can play it. But Yeah, the card is very good, especially since you'll be at that range for most of the game anyways. And then Luffy, kind of the same way. It's just like a good backup removal. Generally, I like to play this deck where we're very slow into hitting our opponents. So our Gadatsu gets a lot of value, especially against like stuff like Gecko Moria, Lucci, and Red Purple Law. They have a lot of 4 costs that Gadatsu can get rid of, which would be strong. Monkey D. Luffy is the same way. You do have to be at 2 or less life, and you do lose the body, but it's great for doing that. You get that additional trigger off of life if you need to get that KO, and you get to draw a card if you use the activate main. So sometimes I get to play this out early, not use the effect, and then I get to attack with it, and then use its activate main to get rid of something too. So that can be very strong, but like the removal potential for this deck, I think is great. I think compared to what yellow's been before, there's a lot of ways that you can either remove cards on your opponent's board or get some pressure on it too. So I think that's big for it. So this is the example build. The 2 cards that I took out and exchanged, we had the 2-drop Shirahoshi blocker. I think this card is okay. If you don't like Rob Lucci, this is a good card for that matchup. Being able to get like a blocker they can't really interact with that easily. Obviously against blue, this card is less good. And also Red Purple Law. Red Purple Law can just remove this without any consequence. So it's bad for those matches, but good against Rob Lucci. And then also Amaru. I honestly just didn't find as much value as I normally did from this card from my own testing. So I didn't like it as much. If you like it, go for it. I just honestly, with having cards like 10 cost Ace and with all that, I just found myself not needing to use this card ever. Like the trigger effect was great, which is why we replaced it with another copy of the 0 cost, but those are the cards I kind of took out. So this is the build I would be trying next. I think Onami being able to be not only the trigger off of life to get an extra removal card, but also the fact that we're able to use it to sometimes pressure or banish is pretty good, since it's very easy to just give it to like one of our big cards and then play it, get the removal, and they don't get like the card advantage back either. So I think all that's very helpful for the deck. And so we also put in another copy of Kingdom Come and also the 0 cost event for the Amaru. But being able to have 8 cards in our life that pop 4 lesses is very good for what this meta is like. We also have the beige, and then we also have the 0 cost event, which again, it's very easy to be at 1 life down to 0 to use this effect. So there's some additional extra heal. So it's just better Amaru in that way, and I didn't find Amaru so useful in my hand for more of the time. So anyways, this is the build I would change to. Again, we did most of the testing on this build, and that's it for the deck list. Let's go to our 3 example games. All right, and we have our example games. Again, these are from my live stream. And we're starting off with a match against Red Purple Law. And also just shouts to Eska. We played a couple games, and they are all very, very close. A very strong player into this matchup. But a lot of people were saying, how do I play against Red Purple Law? And I wanted to show a match going over my experience with the deck in the matchup to kind of start this off. So you'll notice that I am not attacking into their leader. You also might notice this is a bit of a grindier game, so we kind of sped this up a little bit faster than we're used to. But these are pretty short turns back to back. They're starting to get their advantage. They're playing their Eustace Kid. We got the Gadatsu to get rid of the Ein they just played. They're going into us. We're going to go down to 1 pretty quickly. We're also not going to be really afraid of their them potentially running Trafalgar Law because it's usually in our benefit. But they got a lot of early advantage, right? They were able to get to a couple blockers. They played out their Bond Clay, which is pretty obnoxious for our big cards, and we end up just using the Kingdom Come to get rid of their Eustace Kid and pass it right back. But already getting a copy of the Eustace Kid to get some advantage with their Dawn, being able to use the Reiju, a lot of pressure from them. But we're pretty much getting to the other side where we can drop a 9-10 cost every turn, especially with this Yamato. We can get rid of stuff like this Queen pretty easily. But though I think we probably need to get rid of this Bond Clay more than anything. So we're going to use our first Yamato, get the removal of the Bond Clay and the heal, and we're going to pass it right back to them. So this is what we really want. If we get to the end game, I think we can outvalue them for that, and I think they have to kind of respect us being at 1 sometimes, but they're hitting us to the card into our life a lot too, so that helps us out a lot for getting some continual value. So, but we're actually going to do this cute little double removal. We're going to use the Luffy, and then I guess not double removal, but just double 5-drop with the Luffy, getting rid of the Bond Clay once again, getting the card draw, and then playing the Ace to help get some removal on the other side. But they're doing the right thing. They want to go wide, and they want to try to hit me down all at once, which is good. Obviously, if we had another Yamato, we could have gotten a good clear for the Bond Clay and the heal. But I think we're in an okay spot. We have a lot of cards in hand. There's our first copy of 10 cost ace as well, which is nice. I guess 10 their second copy, but it's good for that. They're going to go 7k with the Shariah, and I'm going to use one of my 0 cost events to get out of that. And the thing too is that once they start turning cards sideways, then we can start removing them as well by attacking. So I think that's very good. We're going to 2k, 1k. We're running a little bit short on cards. We're going to use the Sheer Hoshi effect. Yep, draw 2, trash 2. And that's very helpful. Getting some more 2Ks here. Timing is a little bit bad because they can still use their effect to get rid of the Sheer Hoshi for free, so we couldn't use something like Katakuri it back. But this is like the tight spot, right? They could definitely win at this spot right here by using leader effect to play out a Kid Killer and then going for game. But it's gonna be pretty close since we do still have a lot of cards in hand. But I think they're thinking about what's the best numbers to do for them, and it's a big 8. We're gonna do double 2Ks off the base that we got, and then they're gonna do a blocker Sanji. So unfortunately not a Kid Killer, but we're okay with that. We're going to go 5 there, and I'm sure they're going to do the block for free. Oh, they're just going to combo out. All right, that's fine. We're going to go 5 into 7. And they're thinking here. Because if they want to get rid of this, they'd have to do some additional good numbers. Because they can use like the Sanji and then 2k out, so that's no doubt what they're thinking about if they want to just save this anyways. Does mean that we have a good chance to just remove their bigger bodies, but it is a tough decision on this one. So yeah, they end up just taking it. We're going to attack into their Reiju with this one because we want to use our 10 cost ace to try to pressure their queen. Yeah, and no doubt thinking again like, okay, block, okay, we're going to get out of it, sure. And then we're going to attack into, yeah, the Sanji there. So it's going to be pretty dicey. They could, if they have a card with Rush, they can get there. I don't think they do have a card with Rush. I don't think they have Kid Killer since I think they would have played it last turn if they did to get that extra pressure. But having the Sanji out did save a couple cards on their board too, which is pretty impactful. So thinking turn coming up. We do have to be able to keep playing our 10 cost. We do have another 10 cost ace in hand. And again, they're still at 4 life, which is what we want them to do, right? We can tell that they are running out of resources. They're having a hard time. I'm pretty sure that, if we attacked into life, we would have given them the Kid Killer. But them being at 4 and we being at 1 means that like Adatsu can get some removal. Cards like Yamato can get some good removal and the heal. So that's kind of the idea of why we can starve them out from resources like this, because they give us a lot of advantage by hitting us, and they lose a lot by trying to overcome our leader effect. So we're waiting here, and we're going to see what they play off of their 10 Dawn. Looks like they're going to go 7 with their leader. First, we're going to use 0 cost event to get out of it. 3 cards in hand. Yeah, this is a little bit dicey because they can, if all 3 of these attacks go in and they are able to stabilize, they win the game. But they're going to do 7. Oh, we get the beige off the life though, which is pretty nasty. So we're going to use it on the Reiju, and we're going to discard, I guess, a Sheer Hoshi. A little bit risky for us. Because if they attack with the Ein into us and then have a rush card, we kind of lose. They can also just use Ein to get rid of one of my bodies. Let's see. Yeah, I guess this is a real big decision. But yeah, instead just saying, you know what? I think it's better to remove the ace and stabilize for next turn. And then we're going to play another blocker Sanji. So we're going to go, yeah, with no cards in hand, though, this becomes pretty easy. And at this point, I'm going to start attacking into them because now we kind of put them on their own pressure. They're down to 2 life all of a sudden from 4 the entire game. And I'm sure we gave them some good cards, but they either have to win this game or remove enough attacks from my board, or I can just do the counter 3 attacks to go for the game, especially because we have Ace, we have Yamato, and our other Ace. There's just a lot of pressure in general that we can put on the board. And with us being able to just give them so few resources, like they have 3 cards in hand right now, which is more than they've had for most of the game. And because of that too, like they have a decision of, okay, how much do we pressure these cards? What do we play? Any cards that we play offensively means that we can't use them defensively if they have counter, and they have to try to remove as much as they can from this board. All right, so thinking on this one again, it is a big decision because the numbers become pretty tight. I think they're at a good amount of Dawn too, so we're gonna go 5 into there. I was thinking about the Amaru, but I decided not to. It just makes it easier for the clear too. All right, no effect there. We're gonna get rid of the Amaru as well, but 2K, 2K, 1K in hand is pretty nice. We're going to use the 0 cost event to get out. All right, Kid and Killer. We can't get out of it. And then, I'm pretty sure we gave them 2 Kids and Killer from their life, but we got lucky ourselves getting 2 2Ks. And with that, we are able to finish it off. So maybe I was a little bit aggressive too with giving them additional cards. But yeah, definitely their life had at least 2 copies of Kid and Killer in them. And by not giving them 2 that early, we were able to get out of it too. So all right, here is our next game. It is against Boa, one of the new leaders from OP07. And I think this can be a little bit of a tricky matchup. It depends really who gets the tempo first. Both of us kind of run like these bigger bodies, and we have ways to remove our opponents, but it's a little bit different on how we do it. So they're going to start off with playing the Don Quixote do Flamingos, set up the top 5 cards of their deck. Pretty standard stuff. And we're going to go to us with 4 Dawn. I don't really want to give them too much cards, but we will do 1 big 9K swing to put them to 4. Kind of the other thing too is that if we give them too many cards in hand, they don't get to get some additional advantage from the draw. But they did use the pudding, set us back to 5, which stinks, but it's kind of fine at this point in the game. And that's the other thing you got to make sure you know about this matchup is you can't be too greedy with your cards in hand because you will get reset from those cards. So a little bit different from others, but we are going to start off. We did get the Frankie. We're going to get a 1K out of our hand where they try to remove it, which I'm thinking about trying to do another one just because I don't want to get hit by like another pudding a little bit later. And I kind of want to keep the Parasparrow in hand, but they are going to put that into our life. So we're going to go 5K into there. We're going to go 5K into their life. And then we're actually going to use the Katakuri and put it back into our life. So Frankie will be able to play for free again and get us another card draw if they ever attack, which is really nice. I will say, though, I don't have a lot of other things going on outside of that. So I could like Flampe next turn if they don't hit me, to be able to get like another card draw and hope to maybe find like a Yamato or something. But we're a bit of a rough spot, but it looks like they are as well. They don't have necessarily all the pieces they need. They're going to play a Don Quixote do Flamingo. Look at the top cards of their deck, and they are going down to 5 cards in their hand, so there is a chance that they could use something like the another Red Rock to get rid of it. But it looks like it's going to be a Jinbei into Gecko Moria into grabbing another 3-drop blocker and then passing back. So I am just going to take the life, draw another card, and then we kind of are in this weird spot, but I think the best play for us to do is to actually use a Maru. I know I don't play it a lot, but I think being able to pressure these cards and then probably go into their life and then play an ace and go from there. They're pretty much, they're down to 3 cards in life pretty quickly, and we have a pretty wide board. They can play something like 10 cost Kaido or something, but they can't get rid of this board outright. So we are going to take this life. We're going to discard the 1 Gadatsu and get out of it, and then 2K Frankie out, which they knew we have. They're going to play the Mihawk to get rid of my ace, which kind of stinks, but we do have another one that we just top deck. But this is a bit of an unfortunate hand for us. We're just not finding our 10 cost or our large cost cards, which has been kind of tricky. We do have a bunch of 2Ks though, which is kind of nice. All right, another 9K gets rid of that, and then a 9K into face, getting them to 2 life. So again, we do have like the tempo on our side, but their Mihawk is pretty terrifying. If they have another way, if they have like another Mihawk, I might just have to end this game because these 9 costs are tough for us to get rid of outside of Raigo, and we don't really want to play Raigo unless we already have a board established as is. But it looks like they're going to go into our Katakuri, and we're actually going to do all these 2Ks to get out of it. So 3 2Ks to get out of that 12K swing. And now what? being able to have all these 2Ks, I think, is a little peculiar. Not an average amount of 2Ks, indeed, but it's what we've got for this one. And using the 2Ks that we did, they kind of get the read that, okay, well, they don't have any 1Ks in hand because they would have used a 1K. Or the 1K they wanted to keep is really, really good. So that is a factor for that one. But big think on this one. They're going to play the 3-cost Dofi. They're going to rearrange the top of their deck once again. And then they have 4 Dawn to work with. They could maybe play another Jimbei to go wide on the board if they so desire. They could also go with their leader. So they do put 4 on their leader. They're going to decide you can get a guaranteed clear on the ace or a likely clear on the Katakuri. And honestly, if I was them, I would do this. I would attack Katakuri. We saw 3 2Ks get out of here, but clearly not enough to get out. So we're going to go a big 9 into face. We'll go another 9 here. Which they're desperately thinking about. Yeah, they are taking this. And then I think we're just going to put everything on our leader. Yeah, so they can block with this pretty easy, but this means that they're going to have a hard time clearing this board. And they kind of have to play a blocker and clear our board at the same time if they want to not lose next turn. And blue can play a blocker, but blocker and a remover at the same time is pretty tough, right? Unless they have something like a Red Rock and a copy of Don Quixote do Flamingo, it's pretty unlikely for them. So they did add a 2K to hand. They're adding another 2K to hand, so they have a guaranteed 4K worth of counter in there. And it looks like they're just trying to set up. I'm sure they're trying to find a blocker Dofi. And maybe a Boa. I know not as many people play Boa, but Boa would be pretty nice for them here. They're going to go 9 into 7. You know this has to clear it. Worried about the 2K. And we'll see what they do from there. Okay, they do get the Red Rock. I think they could have just put enough Dawn on the leader to do that, but that's fine. So I'm kind of in a decision here. I could Rygo and then attack, and then I would likely not lose. I could still lose with good numbers from them, or I could just go 15K. They have 2 Dawn open, which is a little bit scary. We do know they have 2 2Ks in hand as well. So it's really a decision of the 5 cards they have left in hand, do they have an additional amount of counter to get out of it? So they need 7K counter, I believe, to get out of this, because we do have a 15 going in. So I think about it a little bit. I look at the cards in their trash, and decide, is this worth it? And I think that is the case. Yeah, looking through the trash, we have a good amount of 2Ks in there. And even though we know 2 of them are, we know they have a 4-drop Mihawk and a 4-drop Law. At this point, I think we should have just gone for game. So what we did, we go 15. They go they go 0 cost, 2K, 2K, and that's it, having 3 dead cards in hand. So we had a 2K Flampe in that, and we could have got there anyways. But we're gonna go to our last game. It's going to be against Bonney, which honestly I think this is probably going to be one of our harder matchups. Bonney has like a good amount of like control aspects themselves. 8-drop Kid can be annoying sometimes. Their 7-drop Basil Hawkins, if we have cards out, can't be removed outside of Rygo. And the biggest issue is that the potential of 9-drop Kid, 9-drop Zora. 9-drop Zora really eviscerates us if we don't have a beige in our life, and is very scary. It's also not very easy for us to remove. Like, we only have Rygo. Like, 8-drop Katakuri doesn't hit it. It's difficult for us to attack over it. They get a lot of value from this leader and the abilities that it has too. So they're going to go 5 into us. We're just going to go to our life pretty low, pretty quick. And we're going to go, big 7 into there. And I'm going to play the blocker. This might have been a bad move. I'm still kind of figuring out how to play around Bonney at times, because, yeah, sure, we get to play a blocker, but then they can just like rest it with leader effect later. But it means like they have to swing into it. it's just kind of like a weird back and forth for it. But it looks like they're going to play another Bonney. They're going to get another draw from it, getting a Cavendish, and we're going to pass from there. So generally, I don't think we should be attacking into leader for this matchup in the first place. We want to make sure that we have value off Gadatsu to get rid of like stuff like Cavendish. So, but we're just going to play our Espira, our 6-drop 8K, and pass it back. So I think the good thing about this matchup though is that we don't they don't have like a lot of removal. They just have like some obnoxious cards. For example, like this Cavendish and this Rouge there, but we're gonna go 8 into there. They actually get rid of it. We're going to put their Cavendish into their life with our Katakuri. We had either the decision of doing that, or we had a decision of using the Luffy to get rid of the Rouge. So I don't know which one's best. Obviously, they got the 8-drop kid here, but I have another 8-drop Katakuri in my hand, so I wasn't too afraid of doing that either. And yeah, so we got the Gadatsu now. I'm kind of thinking, okay, what's our best play? I think getting rid of the Rouge is our best play right now, because like we get to get value off of it. We could also like 8-drop Katakuri to get rid of their Eustace kid. There's a lot of different plays we could be doing here. The thing is too, if we put it in life, we have the potential to get them to 7 life, us at 2 life, so we could like use Yamato to get rid of them. But I ended up doing this one. It might have been the wrong play. We might have just needed to put Katakuri in, with the effect to get rid of the 8-drop kid, but I ended up not doing that. We'll see if it pays off or not. But them playing the 10-drop Dofi is pretty upsetting. And I think we kind of have to play 8-drop. I know that we want to play like 5 cost, get rid of that, and so yeah, we're doing this weird play. I don't know. Maybe I'm just playing bad. The more I'm watching this back, I'm like maybe I was playing just dumb for this game, which maybe is you should always record your matches and see when you're being dumb. But they're gonna go 8-drop into there, and not attaching Dawn means to me that they're gonna play another 10 cost Dofi, which is pretty terrifying. Yeah, and we're gonna get the save on the Espira, which is maybe a mistake if we knew that they're going to play another 10 cost, but here we are. So we can play 10 cost ace. We can get it so we can just attack with it into their Eustace kid and not get the heal if we really wanted to, but we're going to do this instead. So we attacked 10 into there and then 6 with Gadatsu. If they have a third Dofi, we're in a bad spot. But so far, I think we're doing okay. I don't know. This is such a weird game. And so, again, they're going 8 into 6. If I want to, I can save this, which I do, which is a little expensive to do so. But Bonney's kind of the thing, like, the difference between having 2 characters and 3 characters is huge, because it means that you get to have 2 attacks instead of 1 for the turn. All right, and yeah, they're going into the Espira, which we couldn't save instead. We have the Luffy still up. And again, we can do some creative things. I don't know. It's just a weird one. I think we're just going to go big numbers. Yeah, we're going to go big numbers, get rid of their Dofi if we can. They get to rest my Gadatsu. Yeah, and we're just going to keep Luffy around. We're actually going to take the life here, which may have been a mistake. But getting down to 1 means we get some value off the ace next turn. 2, get some more cycle. If we get like a Yamato, we can get rid of the Cavendish next turn. We still have the value. I don't know. This is quite the grindy game. And yeah, not finding a Yamato yet with 30 cards left in your deck is pretty unfortunate. But I'm sure we'll find one soon. So this is their 3rd copy of Dofi. It has hit the board. They're going to attack into our Luffy, which I'm thinking about getting the block or not. Yeah, why not? Well, they just get to rest it next turn, and then 1k out. Even though Gadatsu could be used to get rid of Cavendish, I think we want the 10 cost. Yeah, I'm going to do that. That's fine. So, and them knowing that they have 3 of the Dophies already, the 4th one coming down is pretty unlikely. So I felt pretty safe with that one, but I don't know. The more I watch this one, if we should have just used 8-drop cat to get rid of one of their 10-drop or one of their 8-drop kids, put it back into their life. I think that would have made it a lot better for us long term, but I don't know. In the moment, it's trickier. But they're attacking the Luffy once again. He's been seeing the majority of this game so far. And again, we're not they're running out of resources a little bit, right? We've gotten rid of 3 10-cost Dophies, and we're a deck that, we haven't found Raigo too. Actually, I'm a little upset. We haven't found Raigo. We haven't found Yamato. That's pretty tough. And then here's my mistake. This is a 1000% mistake. Don't make this mistake. This is why we put this game in, so you guys don't make the same mistake. Basil can protect itself from getting removed from Katakuri like that. Don't be a dummy like me. Don't do this. All right. Now you all know. Now you'll know not to be a dummy, because we had way better plays that turn. We could have pressured the 10-drop Dofi, putting Dawn underneath our other cards, and that's why we're doing that. So obviously this matchup's pretty tough when you're making a silly mistake like that, because now they can also just attack into our 8-drop cat as well. But we have this Shirahoshi. We finally find a Yamato, but it might be a little bit too late. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of our. I don't know. Amaru is such a good card too, because we can get rid of stuff for like a 2-drop, Rosinante blocker. But there it is. All right, still thinking. They've got a good amount of Dawn. There's another Yamato, unfortunately. And yeah, going down to 0. Unsurprising. And then here's the Hody. They got the numbers, and we get Bop there. So I also don't think, and we can see right there in life they had the Zoro, so not giving them that Zoro was the right play, I think. But man, it's a grindy matchup. I think I played it suboptimal, but I did want to show it to kind of show maybe a cautionary tale of this matchup. But anyways, this is going to be this video, a little bit more matchup footage than I'm used to, so I hope you guys appreciate that. If you guys want any other leaders or decks from this format, let me know. I'll try to do my best in the next couple weeks. And in general, I hope you guys are enjoying OP07. I'm having a really good time, and I really hope you guys are too. So that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll catch you all next time.